This is it, what? Cohiba lit, what? We got that yak up in the cup and getting bent, what? Put some smoke in the air, this your shit, what? And raise your glasses if everything classic. This is it, what? That Chiba lit, what? You got some drink up in your cup and getting bent, what? So put some smoke in the air, this your shit, what? And raise your glasses if everything classic. Stogie light in it.
You were tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Now, my 2020 prospect of the year is Edgar Berlanga. And when people mention Edgar Berlanga, a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different emotions come out. You have some people, they look at the 16 wins in 16 fights, 16 KOs, all 16 KOs coming in the first round, and they like, yo, Edgar Berlanga is a monster. He's a monster. Like he says, I'm a fucking monster at 168 pounds. And then you have some people that feel like, yeah, he has 16 knockouts. Yeah, all of them are in the first round, but his opponents are tailor-made for him. His opponents are guys that he's supposed to do that to. The matchmaking is perfect. You have some people that feel that way. And you have some people that feel like Edgar Berlanga has a lot to prove. He hasn't proven anything because he hasn't been in the ring with anybody. And I can't say any of those opinions are wrong. When you get 16 straight wins by first round knockout, it's impressive. Like, it's impressive. And I think his power is real. So if you want to say that he's a monster right now, sure. You know, he's a monster right now. No problem. Does Edgar Berlanga's name come with a lot of questions? Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't know if Edgar Berlanga power carries late because he hasn't been out of the first round. We don't know what's going to happen if a guy can take his shot. How is Edgar Berlanga going to react? We don't know because that's never happened. Can Edgar Berlanga handle someone that has a high ring IQ? We don't know because he's never been out of the first round. Can he fight off the back foot? We don't know. Can he fight a long distance fight? We don't know. Can he make adjustments throughout the course of a fight? We don't know. So even though Edgar Berlanga is 16-0, 16 KOs, all of them by first round knockout, Edgar Berlanga has just as many questions as a fighter that just started his career. He has the same questions. Every question that I just mentioned, not even the biggest Edgar Berlanga fan can give an honest answer on that. It'll just be a prediction or a thought. It wouldn't be facts based off of what you've seen. We've only seen him in the first round. So Edgar Berlanga is my prospect of the year, but he has a lot to prove, but it's only going to come with time. Do I think Edgar Berlanga is the goods? Absolutely. I think he's the goods. And I know that sparring footage video came out with him and Erickson Lubin, and Erickson Lubin looked like he was getting the better of Edgar Berlanga. Anybody that knows boxing, anybody that's inside of the sport of boxing knows that you can't read into a 1 minute sparring clip. Like, you don't know what was going on prior to the sparring. You don't know how long he was sparring. You don't know if Erickson Lubin was a fresh body and Edgar Berlanga was sparring for 20-25 minutes and was sparring 2-3 other guys before he got to Erickson Lubin. You just don't know. So you can't read too much into a 1 minute clip. But I think Edgar Berlanga is going to be a really good fighter. I think he's going to be a really good fighter. I think he's going to check most of the boxes that I need for him to check when I'm trying to see if a fighter is good, really good, or great. I think Edgar Berlanga is going to check off most of the boxes. Now, whether you're an Edgar Berlanga fan or not, you kind of, suspect on Edgar Berlanga, or you might just have high hopes for him. You want to see Edgar Berlanga in against better competition. You want to see Edgar Berlanga go a couple of rounds so you can see what he can actually do in an actual fight that's competitive. Now, I suggested this earlier in the year. I thought they should have put Clay Collard against Edgar Berlanga. I think it would have did good numbers on TV. Clay Collard's definitely last in one round, and it would have gave Edgar Berlanga a chance to really showcase his talent against Clay Collard. Clay Collard, I don't rank him too high, but he was the name. He was the thing to do at that particular time during 2020. So I think they should have pulled the trigger on that fight. Because if Clay Collard would have lost, he still would have had the buzz with him regardless. So I think they dropped the ball on that. But now you got to think of who makes sense for Edgar Berlanga. Who can he fight that will A, last past one round, B, give him some good competition, some good experience, C, there's a big enough threat there inside of the ring, and D, it make good business sense. It makes good money sense. Gabe Rosado is that opponent. He checks all of the boxes. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, Gabe Rosado just lost to Danny Jacobs, and he got double-digit losses. G5, what are you talking about? Think about it. You need Edgar Berlanga to go past one round. He's definitely not getting rid of Gabe Rosado in one round. I bet my check on that. Second thing, you're going to find out a lot about Edgar Berlanga because you can make the argument that Gabe Rosado outboxed Danny Jacobs on DAZN. The third thing is Gabe Rosado's going to come in and fight. Like, he's enough of a threat to where anybody that jumps in the ring with him, you have to take him very seriously. Like, you have to kind of disregard Gabe Rosado's record. You know what you're getting when he steps into the ring. You're going to get it all from him. And D, it makes business sense because if you put that fight on in New York City, if you put that fight on in Madison Square Garden, I don't care what time of the year it is. I mean, of course, it'd be best if they do it in the summertime. But normal circumstances, like no COVID, and people can just come and there's no, social distancing and all of that. Man, Edgar Berlanga, Gabe Rosado in New York City, and the weather is nice. All the NY gonna be in the building. Philly's going to be in the building. Jersey's going to be in the building. People are going to fly in for that fight. Like, that fight checks all of the boxes. All of the boxes. Even from a competition standpoint, there's going to be people that think Gabe Rosado can win that fight because Edgar Berlanga's still wet behind the ears. And then there's going to be people that's thinking Edgar Berlanga's going to blow Gabe Rosado out because he has double-digit losses. This is the perfect matchup for Edgar Berlanga. This is a great opportunity for Gabe Rosado. And for someone that has Gabe Rosado's record, he repeatedly gets co-main and main event slots. So this is definitely a main event fight in New York City. This makes too much sense. They got to make this happen in 2021. Now, there's other guys that Edgar Berlanga can fight that makes sense. Clay Collard, I would still say that he's a solid opponent for some of the boxes that need to be checked. Steven So Cold Nelson, That's another fighter. Good fight. Real good fight. Competitive fight. And So Cold Nelson is definitely lasting past 1 round. 2021 is going to be the year Edgar Berlanga is going to have to answer some questions in terms of what he can do inside of the ring in terms of total package. But to check off all of the boxes, Edgar Berlanga versus Gabriel Rosado makes too much sense in New York City. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.